With the 10th Minecraft Championship coming with many possibilities who could win, ranking the teams would be hard because we have two fan teams who we don't know well enough. So instead I'm going to talk about the real reason why so many people love Minecraft Championship. The games. It's time for me to put my 2 piece in and rank all the games of MCC. Before we start, if you'd be so kind, make sure to share this video, and if you want to subscribe as I upload other stuff that you might enjoy like sprite videos, D&D guides and a few other stuff on the horizon. Anyway, hope you enjoy this video. Minecraft Championship, or also known as MCC, is an event that's run once a month and has been running for 8 months now. 10 teams of 4 face off in 8 different mini-games decided by the mighty Decision Dome. During the games they collect coins and, after 8 games, the top 2 scoring teams face off in the grand finale to decide who will become the Minecraft champion that month. Unlike other Minecraft events, it focuses on fun and communication as the main focus, but being skilled is not to be dismissed. The games range from the unique to classic games that have been given a little twist, each testing a skill and gives you a challenge that you have to overcome as a team to become champion. I've been around MCC since the very start. I was one of the very early testers of the game, and if you look back at my channel you can see clips from the previous tests. I'm also the leader of the MCC Brick Cult, which should be discussed at another time. As a player, it's honestly one of the most fun I've had when it comes to Minecraft. There's been so many great moments, like how I got lowest score ever, that time I was in a team by myself, and that time my teammate destroyed the entire event with a fireball. Good times. It's great to be with people you'd bounce off personality wise and just have fun with, even if you win or you lose. By the way, if you include the tests, I've won more times than Dream, so yay. I'll address quickly a question that gets asked a lot in the MCC chat. Will there be a server for people to play the MCC games? That answer is a resounding no. To keep it simple, MCC only works with 40 players. 40 active players. You can't have that trust with 39 other random people, as people's internet's crashing and rage quits are bound to happen. Having it once a month in private keeps the appeal of it being like Christmas. You get hyped when Christmas comes around. If you had access to Christmas every day, like how Wizard wishes it could be, Christmas would eventually lose its magic and seem boring. This is why I'm also against recreations, as games lose their flair if overly exposed to the audience. Anyway, how about we look at the 15 games MCC has to offer. There are 11 games currently in Dome circulation, with 8 games being played in the actual event. 1 game is played in the finale, and 3 games have currently been retired from the event. This list is all my opinion from a player's view and games I've enjoyed playing. You might not like the list, and one of the placements I know you'll really dislike, but it's my list, not yours. You got that? Alright, okay, so let's start at the bottom of the barrel. Even the shiny barrel of MCC has some barnacles on it. There was a reason why the original bingo was retired. It was slow, boring, and barely any of the players even got 4 in their card. Lockout Bingo is a game I enjoy, but there's a lot of flaws that tarnish that fact. The rules of Lockout Bingo is simple. Collect items to earn coins. You don't need to get any lines, but speed is key. Once a team gets an item, next team will earn less coins from that collection. After a certain amount of teams have collected that item, it is locked out, meaning you can no longer collect coins from this item. So there is a tactic to try and collect the easy items first rather than getting the harder items. This leads to one of the main issues of bingo. Spawn location can decide everything right at the start. You could spawn right next to red flowers and get red dye quickly, or you can be away from those well needed easy points. I would go into its replacement later, but Lockout Bingo is the bottom of my list as it's the weakest of the original 8 games. This one is going to make a lot of people angry, but Parkour Warrior is the most boring game of MCC. Before you hit dislike, hear me out. For those who are still listening, in my experience and my opinion, Parkour Warrior is the worst game in MCC. It's not at the bottom because I can accept the original bingo was heavily flawed, and I can support the work of Epic Landlord who designed the course. Landlord is great and you should check him out on Spotify. The saloon is the best place I enjoy, just looking out and spending my days, just looking at the design. It's not just parkour, it's a great build, it takes effort to create. That's what leads me to the main issue. This isn't me getting annoyed because I'm bad at parkour, but my problem is that everyone's seen Parkour Warrior before the event. We've had people try and recreate it with just the jumps, made a block for block remake on their servers, and even tried to steal the world via world download. Players have now their own private server to practice this old course, and even if they're thrown off for a few seconds by that new obstacle, that obstacle will be rebuilt right after. There's nothing new, and the biggest flaw, There's zero teamwork. Most YouTubers go radio silent when it comes to this course, only speaking when they curse when they fall. It's overall just an awkward game to watch and gives those with a parkour background an advantage. I do think other games use parkour better than others, but Parkour Warrior feels like a lobby minigame while just waiting for the next big thing. And now here's the younger sibling that gets all the fancy tools. The one your parents like more. The one that gets to go to Denny's while you're sat in the house crying over a Chicago Town pizza. What was I on about again? Oh yeah, Bingo Fast. It's a big improvement on the original, brings that sense of urgency and a good team game. Would be higher if I actually liked Bingo more than the actual great games on this list, but I do spend most of my time trying to build a house, only for Stu to try and blow it up with a creeper. Damn you, Stu, and you're... I can't think of an insult. You're a good guy. Come back to this. Survival games is a basic game really, not much to talk about. It's something that everyone's seen, but what makes it great is the maps. The first map is a nice city where I just run to the arena every time, where I'm either killed by another team early on, or accidentally fall down and get stuck and killed by the border. I think I prefer the new World of Cars map, but there's so many maps I want to see. A map inside Noxcrew Factory, a Monsters of the Deep map, or even a map based on Joffrey Chamber 3. Oh wait. Skyblock is a game of Run to the Centre which is neat, although I've played it a lot. I enjoy it. It's fun to work together in this, even more than survival games. You're much more limited when it comes to places to hide until you get to the centre. Your starting area is designed after the original Skyblock with many orbs behind you and close to the barrier. Close to the centre you get, more items you can grab to power yourself up. PvP is not my strong suit, so I have a habit trying to get those good old survival points to continue, which is a blessing and a curse. You have that rush to the centre, but you also have to have enough health to survive the barrier. It just becomes a game of endurance at the end. I do think a new map will refresh things. Maybe a whole new refresh with more bricks. Speaking of a Skyblock refresh, Sky Battles are brand new and, as of the time I'm writing this, has not been officially announced, and the footage you get to see here is the first test of the game where I played on a team by myself and it went well. Yeah. This is the hardest to play, as I've only tested it a few times and it's okay. I think playing it again in the future might improve this score, but so yeah, this is an exclusive look at this new game that hasn't officially been announced yet. Sky Battle removes that crafting aspect of creating a bridge and gives you infinite blocks to rush to the centre. In this version you're much more exposed to being knocked off, so that's a much bigger risk than before. Oh yeah, there's also now a barrier coming in from above and below as well, so hiding at the top is no longer a choice. It's centre or death. It's only here as I've only played a few rounds, but it's better than Skyblock, but for now, it's here. Ace Race still needs time to grow on me. Was Foot Race flawed and outdated? Yes. Ace Race has some great parts like the Riptide Pipe, which I could just watch people fly out of all day. However, I think there's two main issues with Ace Race. The first being the rubber banding that's needed. Python's Crypt has a few areas where people in the back can easily rubber band to catch up, but Ace Race, once you're on last, you're last for the rest of the game. It's a game where there's not PvP, so that sense of interaction's out. It feels isolating. Well, the second is a natural fall in Minecraft. If you run too fast, you can miss those jump boosts and knock you back heavily in the placements. My advice to players who keep falling, you should either risk it and slow down and definitely get those effects and make sure to run to the centre rather than the sides. There've been a lot of fixes like adding wooden pylons, which are still parts that if you fall you lose, which can really make the game in the first minute. Still fun to play, but maybe with a few brush ups, this game will really be taken to the next level. Another one of the original 8 here at number 8, BattleBox. BattleBox seems to be inspired by two Noxcrew games. Lockdown is the sense you have to fill in wool to win, and the Castle games where you have to eliminate the other team. You start in a small room with the option to pick a bonus item to give your team an advantage in the match. There are 9 rounds in this round robin style tournament. A round ends when the time is reached or the centre is filled. If the centre is not filled when the time is reached, whatever team has the majority of the centre coloured with their wool win the points of the round. Killing other players gives you coins as well. This game is so much fun to play, each with a unique design and different paths to get to the centre. My personal favourite has to be the map that's just been recently introduced, Canal. There's so many great maps and trenches, and a lot of designs that are hidden by the Noxcrew wizards. It's a game where you can decide as a team how you want to fight. Do you rush around the side to get them from behind, or do you take a risk and go for the exposed area to win? How you play it is up to you, and that is why it's at number 8. I would honestly say any games at this point can move places depending on the day. They're enjoyable to play more than once and have heavy replayability. Inspired by the Not Screw Game Show's Python script, Foot Race is a chaotic mess that does not work well in 1.15. And I love it! The rules are so simple. Run, jump, swim around the course to finish as fast as possible. First place gets the highest amount of points and it trickles down from there. Anyone who doesn't finish gets 0 coins. It sounds simple, yet what makes it so chaotic is PvP is enabled. Punching it isn't that bad, is it? Not when you have amazing choke points that you can work with your team to focus on. I always suggest punching people just before they jump to screw up those important jumps, especially at this popular shortcut which skips part of the circuit. Even when you're lagging behind, because it hits 2 laps, you can easily mess with people on first to help your teammates out. Is it a perfect game? No. But with a massive amount of players running about, it's the type of chaos I enjoy, and that's why it's so high in my list. Big Sales at Buildmart was the first new game added to the lineup, and it brings the classic Dale Winton experience of going wild in the Isles. This is Supermarket Sweep mixed with the Stone Soldiers from Raven. For those who don't know what I mean, aren't British or too young to remember, which I discovered while chatting in the Discord, which makes me feel old. Anyway, in Buildmart you must recreate builds that you've shown in front of you. How do you get the elements to recreate the builds? Grab your trolley and go for a sweep through the aisles. Each section of the store contains a certain type of item, so you need to go to different areas to get different blocks. There are usually 4 builds, but from MCC8 this has been changed to 3, but it doesn't mean you have to stay separate and focus on one build. People have been using this strategy, I'm not going to name any names, but they copy the builds before the event and use a spreadsheet. Which I will say for this, 1, awful strat, and 2, maybe work on your teamwork if you think you can play it alone. The best method I would say is I call off to the shops. You head out and you ask, I'm off to the shops, what are you going to get me? And there's always someone who's going to pipe up and say, oh, I need some more cans of Fanta for the fridge. So you're able to help out your teammates more by just talking. Communication and teamwork are the key to this game, and that's why it's number 6 in my list. Spleef is such a classic game, and in Rocket Spleef it's given a jet power boost. You're all given an Elytra and a rocket launcher. You can fly platform to platform, shooting the ground and other players to knock them into the void below. You also have a firework to help you fly back up when you drop down too low. There's not really much to say, it's Spleef after all, but it's a really fun game with different maps, meaning there's a different strategy for each map, not to mention the TNT time where all strategy goes out the window and the goal just becomes survive. My only tip is to aim for players rather than hiding out, as it's much better to take risks and get points than get no points and fall to the rain of explosives. Another game based on a classic game show, and also the classic Not Screw map known as Super Hole in the Wall, which is amazing and you should check out for some nostalgia fun. If you've never seen Hole in the Wall, which is likely knowing the audience of MCC, check out this clip to understand where the game comes from.
Bring on the wall! 3, 2, 1. 3 dolphins, 9 salmon, 1 whale and 6 sharks. How many fish? 15 or 18?
This version has no Joe Swash to yell at you, but the walls now come from all directions as you stand on a platform that slowly shrinks over time. Each wall section has the cardinal directions upon it and a different colour. You can either try and jump over the walls or try and find a gap to get through it. If not, you're going to end up in the drink down below. There might not be wacky walls in this version, but there are psych walls. Those are tricky. 4 walls will come to you, but only 1 will keep going and the others will stop, as those are the fake walls. You and your teammates must quickly find the real deal. Communication is key. Calling out the colours or direction will help your teammates stay in the game. It's a classic game from a classic game show. What's not to love? It's a game barely any of the teams have played, but it's such an iconic game to watch in a voice chat with fans and everyone freaking out who's going to win. It's a tense game, and another one that comes from the Not Screw game show. There's no other game here that matches the intensity of Dodgeball, especially when it comes to that 5th round. The top 2 teams face off to see who will become Minecraft championships in this final tense duel where they pick up arrows to eliminate the other players. Once the entirety of the other team are eliminated, you win the round. Win 3 rounds and you win the event. This game has so much strategy. I have one personally that I dislike that ruins the teamwork aspect, is give all the arrows to one person concept. I can give my own personal tip for the event. Use the centre wisely. Use the centre wisely and lure your opponents back. If you've got the arrow, move erratically and confuse the dodgers, as they might not realise who actually has the arrow till too late. Other tips may be more obvious, but pushing them back near Other tips may be more obvious, but if you push them back right at the moment the platform shrinks, it's a strategy that, if used, is pretty effective. It's my favourite Not Screw game show game of all time, which I won the stream against you by doing 360 no-scopes, and Nox said he was proud of me, and I felt like a parent finally accepting me. Right, it might be the game to decide the champion, but it's not the champion in my ranking, so that's why it's at number 3. It's time to kinda reveal number 1 at this point by announcing number 2. It's To Get to the Other Side, or, as it's known now, To Get to the Other Side and Hit a Fan, or TGTOS, or TGTTOSAWAF. Yes, go on, take screen. Not couldn't do that, could he? On paper, it's a simple task. To get to the other side and hit a fan. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Although the task is not as simple as the name may say. Each map has different obstacles you have to face before you reach the fans. Some test your trident skills, some test your boat driving, while some test your faith in humanity as you get punched off that bridge again. These maps can either have you skydiving or playing a Takeshi's Castle game, or for you young people, DoorDash from Fall Guys. The chaos of the games makes it so much fun. Each map have different paths to go, but you do have to decide if you want to play it safe and go for a safe route, or stay near the free. You follow the speedy folk and risk getting punched off. People might argue and take the fact that it technically is a solo game, and I rated Parkour Warrior though because it's a solo game, but here's the difference. To Get to the Other Side is actually fun. Sands of Time is the greatest game in MCC. It's the ultimate teamwork game and it's unique every event. I must say, before I go into the description, I got to see the coding of this. It's phenomenal how it's designed and the randomised setup. Each detail can be designed from how much coins can be found in the area to how much sand can be found. Sands of Time is another challenge that came from the Nox Crew game show, which is slightly inspired by Jungle Run's Tomb of the Crystal Monkey. Everyone loves this game. Well, anyway, your team is placed inside a crypt where you must travel around and grab coins. You can grab coins, items to protect yourself, as well as keys to open locked doors with hefty amount of coins behind them. However, at the entrance, there's a massive sand timer which is ticking down. Once the timer hits 0, you're trapped inside and sent to the numpty cage, and you lose any coins you have in your person. To keep the timer up, you have to fill up with sand that can be found around the tomb. But if all 4 fall to the traps of the tomb, your team is evicted and sent to the cage. The only way to bank your coins is giving them to the Sphinx, but you lose a percentage at the end. You can keep all your coins if you leave the dungeon, but you won't be able to re-enter. I just love this game so much. The details of the build and the importance of every team member is great. You have other games where fans to go, this person carry, but if a whole team doesn't communicate, they could lose the entire game. It's just superb, and my hat's off to the Nox Crew once again for making this game, and that's why it's number 1. And that's all the games that's been announced as of MCC 9. Minecraft Championship is an amazing tournament that I really love being part of the community of. To kind of break the flow here, thanks. I've been such accepted in the community, even though the subreddit doesn't like me. I've been putting fake rumours in the Discord chat, and don't worry, Topple Towers is great. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to share it with your MCC fans, and I give you the Brick Cult blessing. Anyway, also, make sure to leave a like, and if you really want to be nice, you see that red button right next to my channel name? Click that and support the channel to see more videos like this. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. And